welcome to my video. Today I'll be giving reasons as to why I believe that Blackpink needs to disband. Before I start, keep in mind that I'm not a professional or very knowledgeable when it comes to judging things such as dancing, singing, or anything that I bring up in this video. I've made my conclusions from the standpoint of a fan. Also, this video is scripted because it's hard for me to talk without knowing what I'm going to say. So I am going to be reading off of notes that I written for this video. My history with Blackpink. My first experience with Blackpink was in 2017. This is when I was watching some random videos and I heard their song Whistle. I decided to go to their channel to watch their music videos for Whistle and Boombaya. Ever since then I've been a Blink, but recently they're just not the way they used to be. During the first few years of Blackpink, their dance practices, fan cams, and concerts were very lively, and it felt like they actually enjoyed what they were doing. Whenever I'd watch like a concert video or a fan cam, their passion and energy would practically radiate off the screen. And I'm sure it was an amazing experience to actually be at one of those concerts in person. And I do wish I could be able to go to one of their concerts, but their tickets are expensive. However, ever since they went on their hiatus in, I want to say 2021, I believe, their group kind of deteriorated, basically. When the girls made their comeback in, when was it, 2023 or 2022? It might have been 2023. But when they made their comeback, something about the group was kind of off. Pink Venom was their worst comeback. I'll get into their performance soon, but first I do want to talk about Pink Venom. Pink Venom was pretty good in my opinion, but it's probably Blackpink's worst song. Probably. And it's probably their worst comeback too. Actually, The Girls is probably Blackpink's worst song, actually. The lyrics were not the best. But back to Pink Venom. The song was very generic and the lyrics were just like always. The lyrics didn't really have much of a deep meaning. And most of their songs don't really have deep meanings. So it's nothing new. Yeah, I think Pink Venom was pretty much just about how successful they are, and that's basically how all of their songs are. And that's kind of one of the bad things about most of their songs. Usually this wouldn't be a problem. I do wish that they made songs with like deeper meanings or something different from what they usually go for. But this time it kind of was a problem, given that we've waited around 2 years just to get another version of How You Like That. Because it's not exactly like How You Like That, but it sounds similar, and the message of the song is pretty similar as well. They had 2 years to give us something new, but they failed and didn't take that chance. They really could have changed up their concept or given us something different with the lyrics or the beat, but they chose not to for whatever reason. And it's not just Pink Venom that has a similar sound to How You Like That. A lot of their songs sound kind of the same. Not really like the same, but like I feel like they use the same sounds with a different type of melody, I think it would be called. And that kind of makes all of their songs sound very, very boring because it's basically the same thing but in a different way. And that's kind of one of the problems I have with Blackpink songs. They're nothing special or meaningful, they're just generic, basically. But enough about their songs. Let's go over each of the members individually and basically talk about how I feel about their performances. Jisoo. Let's start off with the worst member. Now, I have nothing against her, but Jisoo is definitely not the best idol there is. Ever since the beginning, Jisoo could never really keep up with the rest of the members. But her effort is very admirable. She tries, but she doesn't really do good no matter how hard she tries. She's definitely improved over the years, but even so, it's still obvious that she still lacks in a lot of the things that idols need to actually be able to do in order to become an idol. Her dancing is pretty sloppy and she often makes mistakes in the choreography. Even when she does manage to do actually pretty well in dancing, she still does pretty bad compared to rookie idols, even though she's been in the business since 2016. And even then, I'm pretty sure they were training before 2016. So probably like 10 years she's had to do better and she's not doing too good still. Her facial expressions are pretty okay, so I don't think there's much to say about that. Because she's pretty good at looking very lively and stuff. There's no problem with there. And I'm not saying that she needs to be as good as Lisa, because a lot of toxic blinks, they often have misconceptions thinking that people want her to be as good as Lisa, but that's not the case. People just want her to do better in general. She doesn't have to be as good as Lisa, she just has to do good enough to actually show that she's worked to be in the place that she is. When it comes to Jisoo's vocals, they're pretty bad. She's not good as the average singer in K-pop. She's good enough to pass as a singer, but she's just not good at singing. Her voice is really strained and it's not very versatile at all. She usually sings in the same tone, if that's what it's called, throughout pretty much most of the song, if not throughout the entire song. And in one of their songs, I think it was Type of Girl, I do recognize that she did do pretty good in that song, but most of the time she often has like the same tone and her voice just doesn't sound too good. It's good enough to listen to, but it's not the greatest. Her live vocals are also pretty unstable as well. Sometimes when they're actually performing live, it's kind of like unbearable to hear her sing because it makes me feel worried that she might like mess up or have like a voice crack or something. And I'm worried about that because I know that like if I were in that situation I would be embarrassed and I don't want that for her, so it's hard to watch her sing because I constantly feel like she's gonna sing in a way that sounds bad. But yeah, so it's like even when you watch her live performances, it's just hard to hear her sing because you feel like she's going to mess up at any point. And that's not a good thing. She she has to be able to sing in a way where fans aren't worried that she's going to mess up or anything. Jennie. I already know that anything that I practically say about Jennie will be written off as hate, so I probably just shouldn't do her anyway. I'm just kidding though. So, to keep things fair, Jennie, she's not free of criticism, so I will be talking about her. When it comes to Jennie, she often picks and chooses when she does good and when she does bad. Jennie could easily be the best, no, not the best, the second best performer in the group, because she is really good. She's very talented when it comes to dancing, rapping, and singing. She's pretty much an all-rounder. She would be an all-rounder if she actually stayed consistent in how she performs, though. However, we're going to have to say that she's the second worst performer in the group. She often lacks facial expressions when she's performing. She often looks very bored and even sad at some points. She looks like she'd rather be doing something else other than performing for her fans. When it comes to the way that she dances, she doesn't really add any type of energy to the dance. Like, if you compare her to Lisa or any other, like, very good dancer in the industry, she just looks like she's not even trying to do good. And once again, nobody's saying that she has to dance as good as Lisa, but she does need to do better. Because it's really like she's not trying to give her audience a good show. And that's really the problem with her dance. When she dances, she often looks moody, as if she's annoyed at having to perform. And that's not how an idol should look when they're performing. When I watch Jennie dance, it's just not very exciting. When you watch idols dance, you're supposed to be able to feel their energy and feel like how they're dancing and be able to feel hype enough to want to dance as well and stuff like that. And that's just not the feeling that I get from Jennie. For example, with Momo from Twice, when she dances, you could feel her passion when she's dancing. You likely think, when you see Momo dance, you'd likely think, wow, she's a really good dancer. When it comes to Jennie, however, it feels very mundane to watch her. You likely just think she can dance and that's cool, but it's nothing special. And that's pretty much just the vibe that I get from Jennie when she dances. When it comes to singing, Jennie is actually pretty good. She doesn't sound strained or anything, but her voice is just very average. So it's not bad. But I feel like she could probably do better when it comes to singing. But she is pretty good at singing. Her rapping is actually pretty great though. I don't know what it takes to be a good rapper, but from the way she raps, it's pretty good. And I don't really have any complaints about her rap. She often does, even with live performances, she feels more alive when she raps. She looks like she's excited and happy to be rapping, and I think that's probably what she likes to do more than dancing or singing. And I don't know, I just feel like rapping is just, it's for her. She genuinely enjoys rapping. So maybe if she I'll actually probably get to that in a different video. There is something that I've noticed though, and something that some YouTubers that I watch have pointed out. When she's in South Korea or doing like smaller concerts, that's usually when she does the worst when it comes to performing. And when she's in more popular locations or in bigger concerts, such as Coachella, she actually does really good. And honestly, I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't think anybody thinks that's a coincidence at all. It's probably pretty obvious why this is. But I've been talking about Jennie for too long, so let's move on. Rosé. I'm just gonna put this out there. I think Rosé is probably the most talented in the group. She's not the most skilled, but she's most talented. Meaning, like, she does everything that she can do, she's really, really great at. But the fact that she's not great at everything is kind of why she's talented, the most talented, but not the most skilled, if that makes sense. If she were able to rap, because I'm not sure if she can rap or not, and if she was better at facial expressions, okay, I was going to say that she's might be an ace if she could do that stuff, but actually she would be an ace. She would. If she was able to rap, she would probably be an ace idol. If you don't know what an ace is, it's basically an idol that can sing, rap, dance, and even make their own music, as in writing lyrics and producing the song. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure Rosé can do all of those things except rap. But if she can rap, she would probably be an ace idol if she was really good at rapping. I could probably expand on that in a different video. Comment below if I should do that. Anyways, when it comes to Rosé, she's pretty good at dancing. Honestly, she's probably nearly as good at dancing as Lisa is. At least when it comes to like K-pop specific type of dancing. I'm not sure about other type of dances. But yeah, she's pretty close to Lisa. The main problem with her dancing is her facial expressions. Sometimes her facial expressions are pretty decent and it does go along with the song and the performance. But most times she just has like a straight face when she's performing, and that's kind of not great when it comes to performing. That's really probably the only thing that she needs to work on when it comes to like dancing. Her dancing uses a good amount of energy and charisma, so it's pretty easy to look past the facial expressions. So really it's just the facial expressions that she needs to work on. But it's not so bad that it's hindering her ability to be recognized as a good dancer. Although people don't recognize her enough because she is really good. It would just really do her good if she could do better in facial expressions. Because I feel like people would actually like her if she were to work on her facial expressions more. Now, I'm pretty sure most people, if not everyone, can agree with this, but Rosé has the best vocals in the group. There's really no denying it. Her voice is versatile, she doesn't strain a lot, and her live vocals are pretty stable. Really, there's not much to say about her. She's a great singer. It's not hard to notice that she is a good singer. I don't know how to explain it, but if you watched that one Netflix documentary, you could really see how passionate she is about singing, and that pretty much just says it all. And the fact that she has been singing before she even thought about becoming an idol, that shows that she even puts in the work to be a good singer. Finally, we're on the last member, Lisa. Lisa is probably the best member of Blackpink, although personally she's not my favorite. After that Crazy Horse show, I don't think I could ever look at Lisa the same. So yeah, but she is the probably the best member of Blackpink. But anyways, when it comes to her dancing and facial expressions, I don't really need to say much because that's really what she's famous for. I'm pretty sure that if you know of Lisa, you could probably identify her as being she's very praised for her ability to dance because she is a really great dancer. And that's usually most of the time it's usually why she goes viral, and people probably recognize her as probably maybe like the one of the top 5 best dancers in K-pop. Female dancers specifically. I'm not sure about like male idols. When she dances, she always gives it her all. She dances with all of her energy, and she always looks so confident when she performs dances. You could easily feel her passion for dancing whenever she performs, because it's probably her favorite thing to do. And given that she has been dancing pretty much all of her life, you could tell that she's really worked hard to be this good at dancing. Problem, however, lies in her ability to sing stably and just sing in general. Singing is okay, but just like Jisoo or Jennie, just like Jennie, it's not that great. Her voice is also not too versatile either, and just pretty much her voice just isn't that special, really. It's decent enough to pass as an idol, but well, probably not, but it's decent enough to pass as a singer, but it's not the greatest of voices in K-pop. But I will say that her rap is really good. She often puts a lot of attitude into her rapping, and that's probably the best part about her raps. And just like Jennie, I feel like she genuinely enjoys rapping a lot. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about rapping. Her stability is pretty bad, though. There are often times when you could hear her struggling to keep her voice stable. And there's a lot of times where the backtrack, I think it's called, is louder than her actual live vocals. And I'm thinking that's because she can barely keep her voice stable. And honestly, if she's dancing the way she's dancing, because she often dances very like aggressively, and she often adds a lot of power into her moves, obviously it's going to be hard to keep her voice stable. So, yeah, that's usually why she's not stable, but she probably can be stable if she tones down the dancing a bit. So, like, finding a middle ground between dancing really good, but also not too good to the point where she's struggling to be stable. Before I move on to the next topic, I do want to address the people that try to defend Jisoo and Jennie for their bad performing. Jisoo and Jennie need to do better. I honestly don't care what anybody says. Jisoo and Jennie really need to do better when it comes to performing. Jisoo tries her best, but she's just not very good. She needs to practice more. Jennie doesn't even try at all, even though she can easily do a lot better than she currently is doing. When it comes to Jisoo, there's nothing really specifically that I can talk about other than she needs to practice. Because if she really practiced a lot more and did her best to do better, she probably can do a lot better than she is right now. She has potential, but she's just not putting in the work to reach her full potential. Jennie is good enough to actually do as good as other idols are, but she never tries to show off her ability to be good. Now, before you start typing this in the comments, you can't use this excuse that she broke her ankle. Her first broken ankle occurred in 2016. That was 7 years ago. The second time that this happened was in 2018. That was 5 years ago. You can't tell me that her ankle is still broken after all this time. Also, if her ankle was still broken somehow, I don't see how that hinders her ability to move the upper part of her body and do good facial expressions. If you have an actual reason as to why she probably dances badly, please let me know in the comments, and please do so respectfully. They are not overworked. Try again. I'm going to try and keep the rest of the video as short as possible because I've already been recording for too long, so I'm going to try and hurry this up. Blackpink are not overworked whatsoever, and I'm going to be using Twice and ITZY to show this. Twice debuted in 2015. At the time of this recording, they have at least 120 songs. ITZY debuted in 2019. At the time of this recording, they have at least 60 songs. Blackpink debuted in 2016. At the time of this recording, they have at least 30 songs. They've managed to have less songs than both their senior and junior, respectively, yet somehow they're overworked according to some people. Twice constantly has comebacks. They usually have at least 1 or 2 comebacks a year, and they usually don't go on hiatus for more than a few months. ITZY doesn't have many comebacks, but they do have comebacks at least maybe once a year or a year in like a few months. Both groups often have concerts and promotions throughout the months that they don't have their comebacks. They basically both give us content constantly. Blackpink, however, would go on hiatus for maybe 9 to 12 months, with their most recent hiatus being 2 years long. And throughout those years that they were gone, they did nothing but modeling and some brand deals. They probably don't even practice during these hiatuses. At least they don't give us an illusion that they are practicing or letting us know that they are practicing. And I really believe that they probably don't practice during these hiatuses, because every time they come back from a hiatus, they always perform worse and worse. My final thoughts. While Blackpink is probably the worst K-pop group that I listen to out of all the groups that I listen to, I still do love their music, and I do still love the members, even though they don't really do as good as other groups. And it's because of this that I really do want them to do better. However, at this point, with the way things are going, they really should just disband. Not because I hate their group, but because their group is slowly falling apart and it's hard to watch. I would really rather see them prosper in the things that they're actually passionate about. If I had to rate how good of an idol that each of the members are, I'd give Jisoo a 3 out of 10, Jennie a 5 out of 10, and both Lisa and Rosé a 7 out of 10. If you want me to expand on why I gave them these ratings and or explaining what I feel like each member should be doing instead of being in Blackpink, then please let me know in the comments. Also, please like and subscribe so that I can make more videos talking about different K-pop groups or just any sort of K-pop content in general. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Annyeong!